Just put in the chat box your name and where are you from. Let us see. Jyotika from New Delhi. Hi, Jyotika. Anushada from Patna, Bhutan, Mauritius, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, West Bengal, Bhopal, Jamshedpur. Danya from Ambattur. I am also from Ambattur. Danya. From my place.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Hi, Danya. I am also
Thank you.
Very nice. So the world
We
is
already
very,
met, sir.
yeah, the world is very small. Yeah.
Okay.
Very small. So team, Mridula ma'am have joined. I will just take 5 minutes, 5 minutes to just tell you the influence of artificial intelligence and how we are all going to take influence. Okay. So hope the presentation is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's
Yes, sir,
visible.
we can see you.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
visible your presentation to us.
Okay. So 1 minute. Quickly, I will. We will have a. Okay. So, what is the changing in the world? Okay. Technology. Now we had a broadband, Wi-Fi. Now 5G. In another 5 or 10 years, I do not know what is going to come. It started with 4G, then 5G. Now I do not know. Maybe we may end up with even in 100G. Okay. Cloud, fog, clouds, Internet of Things, AI, ML, DL, MN. All these are technical aspects. Autonomous vehicles, the vehicles that don't need drivers. Already, it is being operated in many countries. Smart robots. Even in Chennai, there is a hotel wherein no waiters or servers. Everything is taken care by robotics. Then you have VR, AR, holography, 3D, 4D printing, blockchains, nanotechnology, quantum computing. If you see the various aspects, okay, the world is changing a lot, and the psychology field also. We are being influenced. We are being influenced by Google. You people will definitely agree. The moment you open, you search for fridge. Suppose you are searching for fridge. For 3 days, you will be getting only advertisements related to fridge. They try to just go into the details. What is that you love? What is that you like? You just search for something, and the next 2 days you will be having only those things in your mobile. They know that this is what you love, and they start influencing. Now, the whole world is going towards AI, and it is going to change the world. It is going to change the world in a very great way. Actually, the very famous CEOs, digital is the main reason. Just over half the Fortune 500 companies have disappeared since the year 2000. One of the very alarming aspects. See, sounding, please mute your calls. Digital is the main reason. Just over half the Fortune 500 companies have disappeared since the year 2000. In another 5 years, you will not be able to see the Hindu, the Indian Express, the Economic Times, papers. We will not be able to see. Everything is going to be digital. Digital disruption has already begun, and it is going very severe. Now, 2005, it was like this. 2013, it is like this. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years. Okay, and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10 years. When he said 1996, now see what has happened. 1996, this was said by Bill Gates. The next 10 years, it is going to change the complete world. The exploration has just begun in all the fields. Not only one field, every field, the AI has started disrupting, and psychology too. So these are the just the number of people working in that organizations and the net revenue. If you see Facebook, 25,000, but what is the output? See, which is more than anybody else, more than anybody else. So the disruption has already begun. So whether it is a big players or smart players, marketplace, everywhere AI has just intruded. So these are the areas in which AI has intruded, and it has completely disrupted the many aspects. With only one aspect, I will just give it to ma'am. The CEO runs a $1 billion company with no officers or email. There is no office, there is no email, but he is earning $1 billion. That is the power of artificial intelligence. That is the power of the thing in which we are interacting. 20 years back, whether anyone could have imagined that people will be from all corners of the world will be able to join and have a training online 20 years before? If people would have laughed and smiled. One of the great initiatives taken by SIPAC. SIPAC, the founder is Indian Institute of Technology a student who has created this wonderful software. The software already is having 50 psychological assignments. All the psychological assessments are packed in such a way that a clinical psychologist, they just need to give the test, okay, take it, and they can proceed. The psychologist, it will give a great understanding about what a clinical psychologist is doing. For psychologists, for psychology students, what is psychoeducation? What is the test? What are the different dimensions? I have to see it in the test. Everything it is coming just like a cakewalk. If you are administering a test through SIPAC, it is a cakewalk. I have been doing it daily. My work, see, in those days, seeing 10 clients will be the difficult aspects. Now seeing even 20 clients is not easy, because life has been made so simple that you administer a question, get the result, you try to find out, and where is the problem. From there, you can start questioning the client, and you can arrive at the treatment plan. Even before arriving at the treatment plan, a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, and others have to spend a lot of time. Now, all those things are not required. So, to guide us in this psychological assessments, the disruption in psychological industry that has been started by SIPAC. Okay, I welcome Mridula ma'am, who is MPhil clinical psychologist. Now I will ask a question from Mridula ma'am and start the program. Mridula ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Before joining SIPAC, that is before when you started your clinical psychology, when you started MSc of clinical psychology, now that you are MSc clinical psychology, MSc first year, when you were in first year, you have you ever thought that whatever you were doing, paper and pencil, that one day will become completely computerized, that will make your life so smooth? Did you thought?
No, not at all. I think, to be honest, I think like this was not even in our minds at that point of time, that we could be doing this in future. So yeah, I think this is very surreal with technology, as you said. I think how things have changed, how things have improved, how technology has helped us in so many ways. I think that's quite amazing.
Yes. So thank you, team. Thank you for joining. Mridula ma'am, she will take over the stage, and ma'am, I am making you co-host, ma'am.
All right.
Making you co-host. Thank you, Jim. Please cooperate with ma'am. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.
All right. I think we talked about a few assessments earlier as well. So today we'll be talking about two assessments that
Mridula ma'am.
Yeah.
Mridula ma'am, 1 minute. Actually, today completely new participants, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
We held 2 sessions.
Yeah.
Other than that, only people have joined. So completely, maybe people will be new.
All right. Perfect. I think. Yeah. So I think today we'll start with two very simple and very interesting assessments that we'll be doing with SciPack, and I'll share my presentation. We'll just start with it. Okay. Like if you have any questions, then we can take it up at the end. Is this visible to you guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's visible.
All right, perfect. So the first assessment is SWLS, satisfaction with life scale. Have you guys heard of it? I'm pretty sure you must have done it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we have done
in your
it.
practice and in colleges, and you must have learned about it. Why I've chosen this assessment for today is one that why it is so amazing to me as a practitioner where I use it, because it's not just limited to one population. Okay, it can be used with various populations. You can use it with someone who doesn't have any issues, for example, okay, who just wants to work on himself or herself themselves, to grow themselves. So we just would want to assess where they feel they are in their life at this moment. Okay, because satisfaction with life, the questions that we'll be talking about in this scale, I'll come to the scale later. But the most amazing thing about the scale is that it does not define what the criteria for life satisfaction should be. Because human beings, in psychology, we study that every individual is unique. So here we, take that idea that the life satisfaction criteria that every individual has for themselves, it's very different. It's very different for different people. Okay, so yahan pe we do not talk about, for example, just the financial aspect of it, just the health aspect of it, like the physical health aspect of it, or the relationship aspect of it. It could be anything that the person feels, who is taking the assessment, that what their ideal satisfactory life could be, or what their quality of life would be. So it assesses their judgment, like as we've seen. I'll just read it out for you. So it is a short 5-item instrument to measure global cognitive judgments of satisfaction with one's life. Okay, how one judges how satisfactory I see my life is. It is not in comparison with any other standard. It's just based on my subjective opinion, like however I feel satisfied in my life. Like it could be anything, because I might feel that if I have good finances, then I will feel satisfied. It's okay, I will deal with other issues. Or I might feel that if I have good relationship, that might be my subjective opinion of having a satisfactory life. If I have good relationships in my life, I would do good in my life. Or it could be, for someone, it could be just having good physical health. Like if I have my physical health, I can just take care of everything else. So, that satisfaction with life can vary. So, yeah, this scale was developed to assess, a satisfaction with the respondent's life as a whole. Like everything, as I said, it just does not, take one area, as it's written here as well. It does not assess satisfaction with life domains as health or finances, but allows subject to integrate and weight these domains in whatever way they choose. Okay, so it is very open that way. And subjective well-being, it is a part of subjective well-being. It usually consists of two major components: the emotional or affective component, for example, how happy I'm feeling, how pleasant emotions that I'm having, or how sad am I feeling, or the opposite emotions that I'm feeling. And the judgment or cognitive component, Okay, so this particular assessment assesses judgment or cognitive component. Okay, and it like the writers or authors of the who conducted these series of validation studies, it's given here. Okay, Diner, Emmons, Larson, Griffith. You can read more about this assessment on Diner's website as well. So these are standardized assessments. Okay, these assessments have been done on a variety of population, on a variety of people. So it has shown consistent results, valid results. So that's why we make use of these assessments. Okay. Coming to assessing. Okay. I think there might be some glitch. Okay, like assessing. Let me just correct it. Okay. I think just give me a moment. Yeah, so we're assessing SWLS, and I'll share these with you. Okay, is this visible?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, ma'am.
Yes,
there
ma'am.
might
Yes,
be
ma'am.
some
Please
issue.
Yes,
go ahead
ma'am.
now.
Yeah. So basically, there hasn't been given a particular age range for this, but the kind of researches that I went through, okay, so they have used age range from 10 years and above. That's why I've written this. Okay. So we can use these kind of assessments for children and adults. It is self-administered, which means is the client or person who is there with you, he or she takes it themselves. Okay, it is a questionnaire, and because it has only 5 questions, so it usually takes 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, the purpose of this evaluation is to measure global cognitive judgment of satisfaction with one's life. Okay, how satisfied we are with our own lives. Measure change in subjective well-being. Okay, because when we do these assessments again and again, okay, for example, I took this assessment 3 weeks earlier before sessions start. Okay, like we are doing therapy sessions with someone. Okay, let's say we are working on some depressive tendencies, let's say. Okay, so we'll be working on the cognitive aspect of that person, the patterns that they have in their thought patterns. So we'll do this assessment earlier, and we'll see what is the score, and then after the session, after some time, we'll do the assessment again, and we'll see if there is some change. Okay, so we do it for that, and also measure intervention outcomes. As I said, that whatever therapy sessions we are giving, whatever counseling that we are doing, if it is helping those individuals or not. If there is a change in the scores, then of course we would be able to clearly see that there is a change in how person perceives, how that individual or my client perceives how satisfied they are in their life. We will be clearly able to see that change. Okay.
Yeah, Mridula ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I think 1 minute, ma'am. Team, please mute everyone. Team, please mute your calls. Wherever mic is not muted, I will remove the persons because they are disturbing others also. Please mute your calls. Kindly mute your calls.
Yeah.
1 minute. 1 minute. I will remove the people. I will remove the people who are. Yeah, please go ahead, Mridula ma'am. I will just see and I will. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll talk about how this assessment looks. Okay. As I said, it just has 5 questions. And these are not random questions which are put in assessment. These questions are validated and standardized. Okay, like a lot of research has been.
Mridula ma'am, please open your mic, ma'am.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so as I was saying, that these questions, they're not random. These questions that in any standardized assessments which are there, they are condensed, they are, chosen because a lot of research has been done on them. And, the items, we call these statements items, which have shown consistent results over a period of time. Okay. And why, like the other assessment that we'll be talking about also has very few questions, just 4 questions. And why it is amazing to have these, few questions, because it saves a lot of time for us. Okay. Like, when we are starting with the process, when we are just developing rapport with the client, we would want to start with very specific questions. Okay. So that we save a lot of time with random questions that we ask them. Okay, so when we have a few answers with these short screening assessments, we can then explore more in those directions. Okay, so the first question is, in most ways of my life, um, is close to my ideal. Okay, we all have our ideal or real life. So there may be difference between my real life and my ideal life, which creates a lot of anxiety, a lot of conflict in our minds. So it assesses that on a 7-point Likert scale. Okay. Strongly disagree, disagree, slightly disagree, neither agree or not disagree, slightly agree, agree, strongly agree. Okay. The second question is, the conditions of my life are excellent. Okay. And as I said earlier, like, these do not talk about one specific thing, because the kind of struggles that we are going through in our life, the kind of struggles that our clients or patients are going through in their life, it could be varied. Okay, it could not just be limited to one area of their life. So whatever they feel they are going through, so it assesses that, like global assessment, that's why we call it. Okay. The third comes, I am satisfied with my life. Okay. Fourth is, so far I have gotten the important things I want in life. If I could live my life over, I would change the more almost nothing. So here you see 3 items talk about the current situation that the person is in, or the patient is in, and the last 2 items talk about the past situations. Okay, we'll talk about the importance of the difference between these two as well. Um, we'll first do, like, before coming to the scoring, we'd want to go through the assessment. If there is anyone who can share the self-assessment links with people, I'll also share. Okay, we'll take this assessment. Okay, I'll share links with you in the chat. You can take this assessment yourself, Abhi, and then we can discuss the results. I'll share these links with you that I've generated for self-assessment, SWLS. Okay, I'll share this in the chat. You can take this assessment, and then we can discuss the results. Okay.
Ma'am, we need to do the test right now.
Yeah, it's just 5 questions. You can do it. You would just need to copy paste this in your browser. Put in
Yes.
your email address. I'll do it
Yes,
here
ma'am.
with you. You
The
can.
way last time we did the test, the same
Yeah,
to do it. Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So I'll do it here with you. Okay. You just have to go to the link. Like, you just copy paste that in your browser, and something like this will open. Okay. You just have to put in your email address here. Okay. You put in your email address here, like, all of you can do it, and your results will come to you in your email addresses, your own email addresses. What we were talking about technology earlier, like how easy it has become for us to do these assessments. So you can take this assessment. I'll also take this assessment with you. Okay. You can put in your doubts in the chat if you have any doubts. Are you guys doing the assessment?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Team, everybody, you can just do as Mridula ma'am told. Just click the link. The link has been shared. Yeah, Neeta Singh, that will take, because there are 231 people trying to open the site at the same time, isn't it? It may take some time. Okay, it will take time. Neeta Singh, patience is virtue. See how many? I think many people have started taking, isn't it? Mridula ma'am, please open your mic, ma'am.
All right, yeah. Yeah, so we'll go through the instructions first. When you'll put in your demographics, details, and you'll open these, this page will open. Okay. So as I said that, you will be presented with 5 statements that you may agree or disagree with. Okay. There are no
The
right
chat
or
is
wrong answers.
disabled.
Yeah, Tagya, we have
Ma'am,
disabled
the
the chat.
link isn't working. Can you share it in our WhatsApp group?
The link is working. I have checked it. Please do it one more time. Please click one more time. Just copy and paste it in your browser. That's enough.
So completed, it's sent, it's done.
Acha, okay.
All right. So you'll get results in your email addresses only. Okay, I'll do it here.
Ma'am,
Uh,
submitted.
All right, perfect. You can open your report as well. You can see. I will come to scoring as well. I'll also do it with you.
Yeah, we are not able to do it right now, na?
It must be opening, I think. You can try and copy paste it in your browser.
You
And
can
then-
minimize the screen. Tagya, see, Manogya has done it. Very simple. Minimize your screen and put the link in the browser. Okay. Do it
Okay.
and give submit.
Okay.
Then open the email ID and you will see the result. Very
Yeah.
simple. Mridula ma'am, just I'm going out and I'll come back in another 20 minutes.
Sure, sir. All right, I'll do this assessment here. And the first question, let's say I'll put in random answers to that.
I have a question, please.
Sorry.
Actually, ma'am, I have copy paste that link and which mail I have received. I open it. There is a demographic form.
You can put in that detail.
Okay.
You can put in any random detail also if you feel
Yeah,
you
can
wouldn't
this
want to.
come in the chat, in the WhatsApp chat, please?
The link.
Yeah, so that we can do it easily, I think.
All right.
Tagya.
Yeah.
Here we are not only from one group, but Tagya, there are 500 groups we cannot share. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sir,
You
I have
can
not
just copy
received any
paste.
mail. I don't know what to do. I can't fill it up.
No, have you clicked the link, Nandita?
Sorry?
You have to click the link here, which is given in the chat here.
I did it.
Yeah, you have completed the questionnaire.
No, I can't do it. It's not opening.
No, it will open for few people. It has for many people. It has opened. Whoever has taken the test, can you just put it in the chat box?
I
If it
have
is over.
completed the test. What to do next?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. I'll come to the report. I'll take this assessment. I'll put in random answers to that.
Which group have you put in?
1 minute. See, whoever has submitted, go and check your own email ID. You would have received the result. Okay.
But we will receive the result today only or after some time?
Meenakshi, just now you go and check your email ID. You have given on email ID, na?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Go and check in the email ID in your inbox. You would have got the result.
Okay. Thank you.
I have put in the responses on my part, so I'll just refresh it and I'll get these reports here. I'll get the report instantly.
Mridula, this is Dr. Vinita Dua. I have done and received my report.
Perfect. I think I'll show my report here, how
Yeah.
the report would look like for people. Okay, so I had put in random answers. So how report looks like here is, this is automated report for every assessment that we do through this platform. These are standardized reports and instant reports we get right then and there. We don't have to put too much time into going through the scoring and everything. This is automated. So I've put in random, details here. So whenever you give it to your, when you take assessment yourself, when you give your assessment to your clients or your patients, so here the details will come. You can open it or you can just keep it closed. So here assessment description also will be available here in the report itself. Okay. And the results. I had put in random answers there. So that shows that my result is extremely dissatisfied. So we have different colors to represent different areas. It also shows my response in every item. Okay, in first item, I put in 2. Disagree? Yeah.
Ma'am, when we will submit all the questions, report and the result will come to our mail or your email.
Your email address.
Okay.
Yeah, the email address that you have put in, the report directly goes to that. So you'll get another email and you can just open the report there.
Thank you.
Because I had initiated my own, so I got my report there only.
Ma'am, I am unable
shown
to
that-
open report. I am unable to open my report.
You can try and refresh it. I think usually there are network issues or something. I think in general there shouldn't be an issue in opening the report.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I am able to open the report.
Yeah. All right, perfect.
Usually it is asking for some client
Do we need to
sign
do the
in.
report now?
I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure what your. You can just put in your questions in the chat. I can go through them. For a lot of people, it is opening.
When it is
yeah,
open,
madam, it is
asking for
open.
sign in.
All right, perfect, I think. So yeah, this is how the report looks for us. Okay. And we will get recommendations. Okay, I'll come to the scoring part first. And then we'll discuss these recommendations that we get with every assessment that we do. Okay. So the scoring is done. The score ranges from 5 to 35. Okay. If we have score of 5 to 9, it is interpreted as extremely dissatisfied. 10 to 14, dissatisfied. 15 to 19, slightly dissatisfied. 20 to 24, slightly satisfied. 25 to 29, satisfied. And 30 to 35, extremely satisfied. Okay. Scores consists of raw score, as I said, from 5 to 35. Higher scores represent higher life satisfaction. Scores can be assigned into 6 well-being categories.
Mridula ma'am, 1 minute. Rashmi, team, can you people mute your calls? It is extremely disturbing. Yeah, Mridula ma'am, please go ahead. Mridula ma'am, you can open your mic, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So for every category, for example, if your client or you scored between any of these categories, you will get a different interpretation. You will get, the 6 well-being categories that it represents, like you will get that kind of interpretation. So I'll see mine was extremely dissatisfied here. So what recommendation did I get in the report? So individuals who score in this range are usually extremely unhappy with their current life. Okay, for example, as I told you, we can do this in a variety of people or populations. For example, if someone who is going through, terminal illness, who's facing, that kind of struggle in their lives. So, if you are giving particular therapy to them at that point of time, you are helping them cope through that difficult time. So you can repeat this assessment time and again, and how they're feeling. For example, if someone is going through such a struggle, you can imagine if how they would be feeling at that point of time. So in some cases, this is in reaction to some recent bad event, like what example I gave earlier. In other cases, it is a response to chronic problems such as alcoholism or addiction. There can be any issue, because as I shared earlier, there's no one particular issue that this assessment talks about. It is a global assessment. In yet other cases, the extreme dissatisfaction is a reaction due to something bad in life, such as recently having lost a loved one. However, dissatisfaction in this level is often due to dissatisfaction in multiple areas of life. Okay, when we have this kind of result, we can further, explore this area. As I said earlier, that, it saves us a lot of time when we know that, there's something in this one area, like this can be clubbed with other assessments as well. So we'll have, particular basis to work on. We'll have foundations to work on and explore and build the kind of interview questions we'd further want to ask them, or the kind of test that we would further want to administer, or we would want them to take. And this report also consists, like every report, for every assessment that we have, it would contain recommendation, do-it-yourself activities, or psychoeducation. Okay, so a number of factors are here also. You can go through it in your report. It would take a lot of time if I go through it. So like whatever reports that you've gotten, you can go through all these things yourself and you would be able to download these reports as well. You can choose whatever part of report you'd want to have. You can sign up at SciPack also. Like at this moment, I've shared the link, but you can sign up at the SciPack. You can do a few free assessments. There are few free assessments available. Like I have a number of assessments here, but I think when you just sign up in the free one, you will be able to see a few assessments there. Okay. Coming to the practitioner notes, okay, there, of course, with every assessment, there are certain, things that we have to take care of. For example, in this case, as is true for any self-report instrument, respondents can consciously distort their responses, okay? There may be a subjective desirability, social desirability content involved there that, I want my therapist or my practitioner to know that that I'm not doing bad in my life, I'm doing good. So we have to take care of that aspect also. We have to help them understand the instructions that there are no right or wrong answers. So you can honestly put in your however you're feeling at this point of time. It is desirable to supplement the self-reported SWLS with assessments from external sources, for example, informant, SWLS, or interview rating. Informant as in the people, for example, who stay with them. The example that I gave of, the person who is going through a terminal illness, let's say, you can take the same data from the informant. SWLS would mean the person who is staying with them, for example, who spend most of their time with them. So they can also take that assessment for them, like how they feel the person is doing. Okay, so you can sort of complement or corroborate between the two assessments. Okay. So yeah, the second point is, this is for practitioners, okay? The focus of the first three items, what I said earlier, that, SWLS is on a person's current life. The first three items talk about the current life. Okay, how do you feel now? Whereas the last two items inquire about how the person has previously been up until the present. So last two items talk about how they've felt in the past. A discrepancy within the scores of the first three times and the last two times can reveal whether people view their life as improving or declining. For example, if they scored more in past and low in the first three items, it would mean that they felt better earlier. They feel their life is getting worse. But if it is opposite, then it would mean that their life is improving. They feel their life is improving if the score of past is less and present is more. Okay. Coming to the third point, the SWLS does not measure all aspects of subjective well-being. Okay, it is a narrow-band instrument intended to assess the cognitive rather than the affective component of SWB. Although the cognitive and affective components of subjective well-being are obviously related, scores on the SWLS cannot automatically be used as direct measures of emotional well-being. Okay, we talked about that there are different components of subjective well-being. One is affective and second is judgment. So we're talking about cognitive judgment aspect here. We're not talking about emotional well-being. Of course, it can mean for the individual, but here we, as practitioners, we have to be mindful of this aspect. Instruments with an affective focus should be included in research design that are intended to obtain data on the broader construct of global SWB. Okay, like we can make use of more assessments as well. So this was about SWLS. I'll come to the second assessment. Before that, if you have any questions, I can go through the questions. If you have any questions, you were able to submit. I'm guessing that a lot of you did take their assessment. Yeah, I think a lot of people have done their assessments. So you can take these assessments and you can just let me know. Do you want me to move forward with the next one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right. So the second assessment that we have today is NIDA QS. Okay, NIDA QS is related to drug addiction, and it is also a very short assessment. Okay, like that what I said earlier about short assessment, that the amazing thing about them is that it saves a lot of time for us initially. Okay, it initially gives us a direction, like the screening instruments that we have, we screen about, okay, what is the issue, what is the pressing issue with the individual that we would want to focus on. That gives us a direction, and then we can sort of focus more on that. So NIDA QS, it means a quick screen, is designed to assist clinicians serving adult patients in screening for drug use. Okay, it was adapted from a single question screen for drug use in primary care by this individual, and NIDA actually stands for National Institute on Drug Abuse, and to help clients who drink too much. Okay, so this screener can be used for people who we would want to see if they are at risk for alcoholism or addiction, or if they are in remission phase. So we can use it for them as well, like if someone is in the recovery phase, if they if they screen for the at-risk population or not. The purpose of evaluation. Okay, the purpose of evaluation in this particular assessment is to identify drug use as early and prevent the escalation to addiction. Okay, increase awareness of the interaction of substance use with the patient's medical care, including potentially fatal drug interactions. Okay, this basically talks about preventative care. You can do it with young individuals as well. So there we can sort of guide them or provide them with that desired help early on. So I think this is a very important factor here. Other than that, identify patients in need and refer them to specialty treatment. Okay, based on the kind of results that you get from these assessments, you can further make recommendations or referrals to them. Coming to how this quick screen looks, as I said, that it has 4 questions, which talks about in the past year. Okay, so this duration is very important. This duration may be different for different assessments. Okay, so like as I always stress, that do make sure that you go through instructions carefully. In this, it talks about the past year. Okay, how often have you used the following? Because this is the screening question. So it talks about different types of substances. The first being alcohol for men, 5 or more drinks in a day. Okay, and for women, 4 or more drinks a day. It is assessed on a 5-point Likert scale. Never, once or twice, monthly, weekly, daily, or almost daily. Okay, how, like when you're giving the assessment to individual, so you can always share to them again that that this is the safe space for them to take this assessment, or there's no right or wrong answers again. So build that kind of rapport, because there may be a lot of issues involved, especially when it comes to substance use. People are very hesitant, so we'd want to make use of all those factors first as well. Then it talks about tobacco products. Then it talks about prescription drugs for non-medical reasons. Okay, like these are not for medical reasons, though whatever prescribed drugs that I've gotten, and if I'm not using it for medical reasons. Okay, if I'm using it for other for drug use basically, or illegal drugs, there can be different types of illegal drugs. We'll come to the assessment first, and then we'll do the assessment first, and then we'll do the scoring. Okay, I'll share the link. If you'd want to do it, you can do it later. I think someone will share. There are a lot of people who did SWLS. Let me share this link with you, okay? You can take it later and I'll take it now. If you would want to do it with me, you can do it with me. Okay, let me just yeah, got it. I'll share it in the chat. Okay, you can just copy and you can take this assessment. Okay, whenever you can, you just copy paste this in your browsers. Okay. So I'll do it. I'll share my screen. Okay. I'll initiate this for myself. You can do it through the link that I've shared. You just put in your email address and the assessment will be emailed to you once you take the assessment. You'll get the report to yourself as well. Okay, I think, let me share it again. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, people have already done the assessment as well. And that's really nice. I'll share my screen. So when you open, you'll get this demographics page. You just fill in, your details, and then will come the instructions bit. Okay, go through the instructions clearly. On the following screens, you will be presented with 4 questions. Ask your client each question, then mark answers as appropriate. For example, if the client has used cocaine monthly in the past year, tap the circle next to monthly for the illegal drug question. If you want to change a response, click on the circle next to your response. In the past year, how often have you used the following? Okay. It also gives the prescription about, how much this is actually. Please note that a standard drink is any drink that contains about 14 grams of pure alcohol, about 0.6 fluid ounces or 18 ml or 1.2 tablespoons. Okay, so this is the amount of drink which is considered that, what is what one drink means basically. So here the scale talks about if the individual has taken 5 or more drinks, okay, in the past 1 year. So let's say I'm just putting in random answers. Okay, let's say I've taken it weekly. Tobacco, let's say once or twice. Prescription drugs for non-medical reasons, for example, let's say once or twice. Or illegal drugs, let's say I've never done it. Okay, so I have put in, so I should be able to get my results here. Like your results will come in your own email addresses, because I'm using the platform. I'm doing it from website, SciPack.com. So my reports are coming like that. Okay, so you don't get confused how it will look. Your reports will, if you're doing it from self-assessment link, your reports will come to your email address directly. If you're doing it on the platform itself, if you've registered, sign up on the platform, then you'll be able to see this kind of setup. Okay. So yeah, this is the report. So again, about the report, you'll first get the description of individual, your patient. Assessment description also you'll get here, whatever we talked about earlier. And it also has, if you'd want to know about the attribution, who's made the scale, or, about the other information, so you can just go through that. So results show, I'll come to the scoring part now. So any positive response, like this is very important, okay? Any positive response should be pursued and is suggestive of a substance use disorder. Okay, again, this is a screening instrument. This is not a diagnosing scale, okay? But any kind of positive response means that you have to be very conscious of, the results, because it can be a potential thing. If the patient says yes to 1 or more days of heavy drinking, patient is an at-risk drinker. Okay. If patient says yes to use of tobacco, any current tobacco use places a patient at risk. If the patient says yes to use of illegal drugs or prescription drugs for non-medical reasons, the patient is at risk. Okay. This talks about past years. So once we know this information, that this person is taking, 4 or more drinks at least once in a week, or once in a month, or once weekly. So that will give us that information that, okay, I need to, explore more in this direction. We can make use of more assessments in that direction. For example, you can make use of an assessment like audit after when you know that you've done, and further, the next version of this assessment itself, NIDA assist, like this is NIDA quick screen. You can make use of NIDA assist as well. So knowing this information, so understanding here that these 4 questions just solved a lot of things for you. Okay, like you just got a direction to move in with. But again, I think understanding that your judgment as a clinician is also very important. The kind of questions that you ask, the kind of rapport that you build with your client. So all that is really important as well. And we know, like when we know that if there is a positive response, if the individual is continuously taking any kind of substance, whether it's alcohol or it's any other kind of substance, we do understand the concept of tolerance. After a point of time, tolerance is built. Okay, the kind of high that same substance gives that individual, it is altered. That person would need more amount of substance to get same amount of high. So that's how it builds. That's how that addiction builds. There are a lot of there's a lot of mechanism that goes into it, like that you understand as practitioners. So yeah, I think this is very, very important. Yeah, this is how the report looks like for us. Okay, it shows your response in every area. There are different symbols for different substances. Okay, this circle represents alcohol, triangle represents tobacco product. It shows severity and how much, let's say I'd put in random answers. So I was doing tobacco products once or twice in the year, or once or twice, and yeah, accordingly. So it also provides recommendations coming to the report. With respect to alcohol, assess, advise, assist, and arrange help. Okay, like this tells us that we have gotten a positive response. You need to work on this further. Okay, we need to intervene. We need to sort of build some kind of plan for this individual. You would want to do more assessments on this. The same goes for tobacco products and other prescription drugs. Okay. Yeah. So do it yourself. Like the report also gives suggestions to the clients who are taking, that do seek help. It encourages people to reach out and, just sort of having that kind of motivation to go through when you get a report, because in general, getting reports can be really scary. I realize you must have taken sort of given blood test or, these things at times, or even psychometric assessments. So getting any kind of reports is very overwhelming. You're very scared in general, but knowing that, sort of you do get to read about things that you can do. You get to have the psychoeducation. Psychoeducation is a very, very important part of, any kind of intervention that we plan. So having psychoeducation in every report, okay, sort of it talks about addiction, which can happen to anyone, and all of these things. I think wonderful psychoeducation, it's given here. So as a practitioner, like it's helpful for you as well. When you talk to your client, when you talk to your patient, you can make use of this information to build that rapport with them, to build that trust with them, and also help them understand whatever kind of issue that they're facing and what kind of help may be given to them. And also if the client themselves is seeing the report, when they read this, I think it gives them a lot of context, it gives them a lot of information, so which is very helpful for people. Yeah, so you can download the report as well. So yeah, coming to the practitioner notes again. So brief intervention, like as a practitioner, what you can take away from this. You can advise, like whatever results that you've gotten, you can advise patient about drug use. Okay, you can assess readiness to quit. Like there's another assessment for that as well, like readiness scale as well. You can assess that as well, that at what stage the client is in, when they are working, like the in the recovery phase they're in, what stage they're in, and how motivated they are to quit. Assist patient in making changes, arrange treatment or follow-up care. Okay. Reminders to improve patient rapport. It's very important to, because what I said earlier, like especially substance use population is very tricky, because those people can be, because they're struggling with that kind of addiction, they can be very manipulative at times as well. They may be lying it a lot of times. So that rapport is very important. So how you deal with them as practitioner, that's very, very important. Okay. For example, here are a few suggestions for you as a practitioner: that avoid tone that the patient might think is judgmental or confrontational. Okay. Like if someone is coming to you, like, okay, I want to work on my addiction, and they tell you like, okay, I take 1 bottle a day, and you tell it, Arey, how can you take 1 bottle a day? That's so impossible. Why, what are you doing to yourself? Like if they will get that kind of tone, they will feel judged, and they will not be able to open up. Probably, next time he or she will come, they might just feel very hesitant to talk to you about how much substance they're taking. So it might really be difficult for them to talk about their struggles. Show an interest in what the patient life is like. Okay, a lot of times there are a lot of situational vulnerabilities, the kind of space, socioeconomic status that the person comes from, or again, how they might be using it as a coping mechanism. They might be sort of, there might be a lot of contextual things adding to the situation. So do try and sort of show interest in that, get to know more of that. Acknowledge the patient's current point of view of his or her drug use. Okay. As I said earlier, like this is very important, that what part of recovery they're in, like if they are open to change or not. How much they know about this particular thing. Do they even know about what tolerance is? Do they even know how this can be harmful for them? Because when they will be ready, only then we can start with the process. Signal to the patient that having mixed feeling about a drug use problem is normal. Okay, like because they, like as practitioners, we know about this, where they might be coming from, they may not have that kind of awareness to them. So helping them understand that, whatever doubts that they're having, it's completely all right, and sort of guiding them through that, providing them with that direction as a practitioner. Highlight patient confidentiality and its limitations. Yeah. Finally, the screen is only one indicator of a patient's potential drug use problem. It is not a substitute for clinical judgment, which you should use to determine when an intervention is warranted. Okay, if you feel that, okay, this individual is taking, this seems like an issue. Okay, so you have to intervene accordingly. Okay, you have to take into consideration a lot of things, what the factors that we talked about, and offer continuing support at follow-up visits. Refer patients as appropriate, schedule follow-ups, offer continuing support at follow-up. Okay, so these factors are very important, and I think a lot of you must have done the assessment as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think that was about these 2 assessments. We have a number of more assessments. We have, these were just, 2 short assessments. We have a number of assessments there. So you can try out, you can get to know more about these assessments. I think in the free version of it, you might be able to see a few, but there are a number of assessments that we will possibly talk about in future. Yeah, I think these are very, very interesting. I think when you make use of assessments in your therapy process or your counseling process, or in general, your own, growth as a practitioner, this adds much, much more to it adds a lot of value to your practice. Okay, it helps you grow. It helps you, in a lot of situations, as I said, that I try to repeat these assessments with my clients. For example, if we've started sessions for whatever issue that we're struggling with, we will do the assessment first. We'll see how much score the client gets. Then after a few sessions or after a particular period of time, we'll repeat the assessment and we'll check the results. If results have gotten better, or if results have gotten worse, or if results are consistent. So we would want to change our process or how we are putting in efforts, and we'd want to do that differently. Okay, if there are consistent results, the client also, client says ki I'm getting better, but you're not seeing any kind of changes in their reports, then also, it would be a very important factor here, that if I would want to refer my client to someone else, if I feel that it's not helping, even if the client is saying, but I cannot really see that change in the reports or how actually the client may be feeling. So I can take appropriate action on that, or I may change my therapy approach. I may change how I sort of design my therapy sessions, or the kind of approach that I have in general. So we can make use of all these things. So yeah, I think do make use of assessment.
Ma'am?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, am I audible?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question. Can I?
Yeah, sure.
Ma'am, we did this NIDA. So, should the client or should the patient come from rehab center, or after screening, what exactly? Because when it comes to alcohol abuse or alcohol or substance abuse, basically rehab people or NGOs with rehab or de-addiction center, they are more involved in it. So do we need to inform them, or the patient comes from there? So how do we need to coordinate with them? Or is it a psychologist or a clinical psychologist who takes over the session? So ma'am, this is my question.
Yeah. Of course, I think, it would depend on the qualification you have as a person. Okay. If you are, for example, a counselor, you can take sessions at a subclinical level. Okay. If you're a clinical psychologist, you can take up sessions at a clinical level. Although these are screening assessments which anyone can do. Okay, for example, if you are a counseling psychologist, okay, or if you are a student, pursuing or doing their internship, so you can make use of this assessment. It will give you, some information about, for example, as I said, it will give you the basic information.
Yes.
And you can make use of that basic information to further, for example, if they've scored, higher in the sort of addiction kind of assessment, they've screened for it, for 2-3 things. So if you feel that, recommending another institution for this would be helpful, so you can act as per your own judgment. Okay. So it would depend on that particular context. If you feel that severity is low, you can start with the process on your end. You can provide them with a few suggestions to start with. You can schedule a follow-up session that, you come back for, after this time, and then we'll do this assessment again. And then we'll talk about how, you've improved. So we can talk about those things and we can plan accordingly.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, do let me know. I think we'd be doing another session with all these assessments that I just shared. I'm not sure. It's since today is the free assessment, we'll be doing, I think it would be a paid training program, and we'll do all of these assessments. Okay, they're like really, really wonderful assessments that we have. We can do it for ADHD, anxiety, different kinds of anxieties that we have, substance abuse, self-esteem, PTSD, relationships, personality, parenting styles, or related to pandemic, OCD. We did a few earlier as well. I was told that because today's people are very new. So there are a number of assessments which are very, very important, and these are used globally. Okay, so if you have any queries, I think you can just reach out to the team. I think they'll share their number on the chat as well. You can always reach out to them. I think do try and be open to these assessments. I think, as I said, that using assessments in your practice in general should be a must for us as practitioners. Okay, this is very important if we are starting to work, if you're someone who's just started their practice, I think this is wonderful way to assess if you are making a progress as practitioner as well, not just your client, but I think it helps you assess yourself as well, how you're doing as a practitioner, if you're able to contribute to the individual, if you're able to contribute to the process, if you feel the results are consistent or they're declining. I think it again gives us a lot of perspective that I would want to make the conscious decision. It may or may not be about my capability, but the client or the person possibly deserves or requires something else, a different approach. Okay, so assessing that as well is also very important. But yeah, I think using assessments, we do use our assessments in everyday life, and like with every practice. But I think just doing them online, how sir said earlier, that how things have changed, like especially after the pandemic. You can just be at one place and you can take sessions on Zoom or Google Meet, and you can take these assessments, you can just give these assessments to your clients who is possibly in a different country altogether, who is in any part of the country, or so I think this has, how they say that different modern problems require modern solutions. So I think coming up with these things, I think this is very innovative and creative in its own way, coming up with different kind of things. So yeah. And do you have any questions?
Ma'am, I have. Ma'am, some people have few questions.
Yes, Fatma ma'am.
I think few people have some questions.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I think you can one by one unmute and ask them. Otherwise, everyone can open their mic at once.
Yeah, I think
one by one.
who've raised their hands, I think I'll just call out names. You can just raise your hands and I'll call out names and you can just ask, okay? Whatever questions that you have. I think Dr. Alka, ma'am, if you can just go, like if you have any questions, please. Dr. Alka, ma'am. If you're there. I think she's not there at the moment. Summer, I can see Summer, who's raised their hand. Would you want to ask something? I'm not sure if they're there. Okay, someone else, I think, Bala.
10 people have raised their hand, but no one is responding. I don't know why.
Yeah,
please
sure.
let us know that you are able to unmute.
Yeah, Bala, if you would want to ask any question, you can unmute yourself.
Is a very nice train that
I think your voice is breaking, sir.
From Nigeria, Africa.
Your voice is breaking. I think it would be possibly
I said
nice
from Nigeria. Can you hear me?
If you can just type in your question.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think it's slightly better, yeah. Are you typing your questions? Anyone else would want to go in the
ma'am,
meantime?
I think I don't know what's wrong. So I can do one thing. We have created a group for them. Okay.
Okay.
So I am going to collect all the questions and forward it to you.
Sure,
just
sure.
solve this. Okay. Yeah, I think that will be better. Right.
Yeah, I think perfect. Like whatever questions that you have, you can just put in the WhatsApp group, and you can reach out, and you can also share about your thoughts and feedback, and I think your queries about the training program that we're going to do soon. If you're interested, you can just put in your messages, and you can always reach out to Fatma ma'am and in the group. Okay. If you have any questions, you can just put it in the chat, or we'll close the session for now. You can just put it in WhatsApp group later then, like whatever queries that you have.
Yes, I think that will be better. Right.
Yeah, all right. All right. I think
Yeah.
thank you so much, everyone, for taking out time today. It's really nice to see so many people and, looking at such wonderful faces. I'm really, really glad. I see a lot of people. Neelam ma'am, I can see. Takia ma'am, I can see. Manogya,
2
I
मिनट है,
think you were
इसीलिए हम
really.
बोल रहे हैं यार, मेरा यहाँ आवाज मेरा
It's
आवाज
really nice
cannot
to connect
clear
with
है
you.
उधर, तो प्लीज इसको हाथ लगाने से इसको प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है, रखिए.
All right. It was really nice to connect with you all. We'll
Same
connect
here,
over
ma'am.
the WhatsApp group then. Do share your queries there. Yeah. Hi. Obvious Map Fumo. I'm not sure how you say that name, but it's really nice to see you as well. Please, you can get yourself added in that WhatsApp group that ma'am has shared in the chat, and you share your questions there. And I would be looking forward to connect with you all in the training program. Okay. All right. I think.
Yeah. And yeah, Mridula ma'am, you can share about our, that paid one, that 30 months internship.
Yeah. I think,
We
as I
are
said,
planning.
we'll be soon doing a 30-day training program for all these assessments that I've just shared, which are about different domains, personality, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, all of these areas we will be covering, and we'll be giving you access to all these assessments online. So whoever is interested, you can please, put in your queries in the group. Fatma ma'am will be there. She'll guide you through that. And yeah, I think, again, I would look forward to, you guys there, looking forward to meeting you guys there. And yeah, I think really nice to see you all. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
All
Such
right.
a wonderful
Thank you.
session, as always. You rock.
Yeah,
And
thank you. Thank you so much,
thank you
ma'am.
so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.
I think
Bye,
I would just
everyone.
want to say, I think Neeta ma'am, like I can see that you're traveling. You're still joined. I think this is so cool to see. I think that's
Yes,
really,
yes. I
really nice
must
to
say
see.
yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. I must say our most of the students they all are professional.
Yeah.
They join our station while traveling in train,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
buses. Sometimes they are walking on the seat, and they used to
Yeah.
attend our classes.
This
Our
is such
students are also,
amazing.
wonderful, amazing. They all
Yeah,
are.
I think I love technology for that. I think I just love technology for that. That you're able to do all these things. You're able to connect with people from anywhere, anytime, whatever you're doing, and making such good use of things. Yeah, I think really nice to see everyone. All right, I think we'll connect over WhatsApp then. We'll sort of see. We'll connect on the training session.
Sure. Ma'am, you
All
can
right.
also join that group.
Sure, I will. All right.
Okay.
Please
Yeah.
put in your
Okay.
questions there.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
All
Bye.
right. Yeah. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye,
Bye
ma'am.
bye. Thank you.
I'm requesting. Team, you all can please left.
Hello.
Hi,
Yeah, greetings to you.
greetings too.
Hello.
அவங்க பேசுறது கேட்கணுமா வேணாமா?
Have we finished our class? Is the class over?
Class is over.
Okay. So we can leave, I think.
Thank you so much. Okay.
This is that. This is a picture. Okay. This is a picture.
Psychology.
It's not coming. Okay, now, okay, wait.
Is the class finished? Hello? Anyone there?